You ever wonder if there's some kind of, I don't know, a global dragnet for hidden money? Well, it turns out there is. And honestly, it's changing the world of finance as we know it. So today, we're going to uncover the story of how technology and really global cooperation are making it pretty much impossible to hide wealth from the tax man. All right, let's get right into it.
Okay, so think about the last time you opened a bank account. You probably got asked about your tax residency, right? Seems like a simple little question, but that one question, it's actually the key that unlocks this massive, and I mean massive, global system. It's the very first step in a dragnet that's designed to track money all across the world and, make sure everyone's paying their fair share. So why the sudden obsession with where you pay taxes? To get that, we've got to rewind a bit. We need to look at this high-stakes, global game of hide-and-seek, a game that was being played with literally trillions of dollars.
I mean, just imagine this, a world where you could just park a fortune in some offshore account and your home country's tax authority would have absolutely no idea. For decades, that wasn't imagination, that was reality, and it was causing this massive drain on public funds. This global game of financial hide-and-seek, it was costing governments trillions. Trillions!
But guess what? The game is up. In what is just an incredible show of global cooperation, more than 100 countries and jurisdictions have joined forces. And we're talking even places that used to be known as tax havens. This isn't just a few countries getting together. It's a full-blown, worldwide movement to shut down financial secrecy for good.
Now look, getting over 100 countries to agree on anything is a huge deal, right? Let alone something as sensitive as taxes. So what was the solution? Well, it was a revolutionary global rulebook that was about to change the entire game.
And here it is, the Common Reporting Standard, or CRS. Now, the magic word here, the word you really got to remember, is automatic. This means no more sending lengthy requests for information that could just get denied or dragged out forever. Now, financial data just flows seamlessly and automatically between countries every single year. It's kind of like a global financial weather report.
You can really think of the CRS as this super detailed blueprint for financial transparency. I mean, it leaves no stone unturned. It dictates everything, from what data gets shared, to which banks and investment funds have to report, all the way down to exactly how they have to verify everyone's details. The whole point is to create a totally watertight system with zero room for error or evasion.
Okay, so we've got this global rulebook. That's great. But how does it actually work in practice, like on the ground? Let's follow the data trail and see exactly how your financial info makes this incredible journey across the globe.
Honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. It really is like a global financial neighborhood watch. Every single bank is now a pair of eyes, constantly looking out for money that might be trying to hide from the tax authorities. And you know the saying, when they see something, they say something.
And this breaks it down perfectly, so let's just walk through it together. Step 1, you tell your bank your tax residency. Super simple, right? Step 2, your bank then reports that info to its own local tax authority. And then, and this is the kicker, Step 3, that information gets automatically beamed across the world straight to your home country's tax office. It's simple, it's effective, and it's pretty much inescapable.
All right, so let's bring all this high-level stuff back down to earth and see how it actually plays out in the real world. We're going to take a look at Singapore, which is a huge global financial powerhouse, to see how the CRS is being put into action right now.
So as you can see, it's a two-way street. Both the banks and their customers have a part to play. The financial institutions in Singapore, they call them SGFIs, they do the heavy lifting, reporting everything to the local tax authority, IRAS. But the success of the whole system? It really hinges on individuals, people like you and me, providing accurate and honest information whenever we're asked.
And Singapore didn't just show up to the party late, they were one of the first ones on the dance floor. They signed the main treaty. It's a mouthful, the Multilateral Competent Authority Agreement, but it's basically the legal key that unlocks all this data sharing. By signing that and starting the information exchanges way back in 2018, they sent a super clear message. They were all in on this new era of financial transparency. But hey, the world of finance never stands still, right? It's always evolving. So what happens when new kinds of wealth, like crypto assets, show up and they're not really covered by the original rules? Well, you guessed it, the rulebook has to get an update.
And that's where the amended CRS comes in. The best way to think about this is like a critical software update for the global tax system. The original version, CRS 1.0, let's say, didn't really account for the explosion of crypto, and that created a potential loophole. This new version, this update, closes that gap completely.
It makes sure that all these new forms of digital wealth are now on the radar.
And this timeline here really shows you something important. It's not just a list of dates, it's proof of the ongoing commitment to making this system work. You can see the journey, right? From the very first exchanges in 2018 to bringing in the new crypto rules in 2024, all the way to the planned start of these new exchanges in 2028. It shows that the global community is constantly adapting, constantly trying to stay one step ahead.
So the big takeaway here is that the age of financial secrecy is coming to an end, and fast. The Common Reporting Standard has built a world where it's just harder than ever to hide your wealth. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? If we can pull off this level of transparency for taxes, what other massive global problems could we solve just by shining a light on hidden information? The possibilities, well, they're pretty incredible to think about.